So the related tables which will store the delivery details are LIKP, LIPS, then the next one is billing. VF01 is a transaction to create a billing document. And the tables which store the details are VBRK, VBRP, BKPF, BSEG. These are the tables which will store the details and so on. So there are many tables. Okay, so these are the important tables. That means in the future, if you want to just refer weekly, say for example tomorrow some people are coming and they are saying something is going wrong in a billing document, then go for VF01 transaction, and the details of the VF01 transaction will go and save in these tables. Just have an idea, no need to remember the transactions, no need to remember the tables, because once you finish the course, automatically you will remember the transactions, automatically you will remember some tables. No need to concentrate on this very much. But if you want to just go through it, go through it. That's useful. Okay?
Okay.
Fine. So now today we have seen some important tables and some important transactions and SAP system landscape. SAP system landscape will ask you to have 3 servers. The 3 servers are
Product
development server, quality server, and production server. Yeah, and production server. And then SAP architecture also I will tell you. And after SAP architecture, we'll just conclude. So SAP architecture means SAP will have 3 layers. First layer is GUI layer. So first layer is called as GUI. This is also called presentation. GUI means any idea?
graphical user interface.
Yeah, graphical user interface. Good. So graphical user interface means the screen which can interact. Okay. So see, this is the graphical user interface of SAP. This is SAP screen, right? With this screen we can interact. So this is the graphical user interface. Then the next layer is not next. The bottom layer is called database layer. So this is DB, database layer. So what generally database layer will do?
It is like a backend.
Yeah, it's a backend. It will store the data. So from the GUI side, whatever you are doing, that data SAP database will store. In between a GUI and database, there is one more layer. So this layer is called application layer. So this is the application layer. This is the database. This is GUI. GUI is also called as a presentation layer. GUI is also called as a presentation layer. Then this is application layer. This is the database layer. SAP has 3 layers. GUI means SAP screen which can interact with you. Graphical user interface. It's actually like interface between you and SAP. And database is the place where the data will go and store. Application layer will communicate between GUI and database. So in order to execute your logic in your programs, this application layer is required. Okay. Apart from this, SAP will also make use of Another database, this is called main database. Okay, SAP will also make use of another data. This is a main database SAP will use. So this main database generally belongs to SQL or Oracle. So SAP has actually these three layers, and these three layers every time talk with main database. So this is SAP. SAP has three layers: GUI, application, and database. This database layer always talks with the main database. There is a communication with SAP database and main database. So you cannot see the main database because it will be there as a SQL database or Oracle database. We can see the SAP database in S11 transaction. S11 is the transaction for data dictionary. In the data dictionary, in the data dictionary we can see what is existing in SAP database. But this main database you cannot see. And application layer also you cannot see because it will be running in the background. Yeah. And GUI you can see. GUI, that means whatever user interaction, whatever the programs you can do, that data you can see.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. And coming to some real time scenarios. Once you finish with your SAP, tomorrow if you go and join in a company, there are three kinds of projects are there.
Okay.
First one is implementation. Implementation project or rollout project, and second one is support project, third one is upgrade project. Okay. So what is the implementation project means? Say I'm using .NET. As of now, my business I'm using .NET, or I'm using some Java, or I'm using some VB or something, or I'm maintaining data in Excel. Now I want to go with the SAP. So that is called implementation project. So implementation project means until that point the business was not using SAP. Now you need to implement the SAP for them. That is the implementation project. So the tenure or the duration of the implementation project will be around 1 year, 1.5 year. So that means it depends on how big the organization is. If you want to implement SAP for some Reliance Industries or some very big company, it will take very long day. Automatically, it will take very long tenure. Fine. So this is called implementation project. Implementation project means SAP is not there till that point. You need to implement that. Then rollout. Rollout means generally, say for example, a company is there which has a plant in Australia, which has a plant in US. Now what it will do, it will try to implement SAP for Australia. If everything is working fine in Australia, then it will go for US. That is called a rollout. Rollout means the customer will check whether for one plant it is working fine or not. If he satisfies, he will implement for the other plant also. That is called a rollout project.
Okay.
Okay, then support. Support project in the sense you have already implemented SAP. Then after that, customer requires some extra features. Customer requires some other small programs. So those will come under support. So support means customer is already using SAP. He wants some support from you to run his business smoothly. So that is a support project. Support project will be running together in years and years and years. So actually customers require always support. So sometimes what will happen, say for example, if you are working in some Accenture company or Wipro company, you will be working with a customer. Generally your customers will be some Coke or some Procter and Gamble. So you are some familiar companies you can see in industries. So those companies, what they will do, they need your support. So sometimes there were scenarios like from the Accenture they will take the employees permanently with them. Some one say for example your project team will be some when implementing your project team will be around 10 members, right? So assume that now Accenture is a company which is implementing SAP for Coke. From Accenture side, some 10 people will implement SAP for Coke. Okay, now what will happen during the implementation? There will be interaction between the Accenture team members and Coke members. So after the completion of the project, Coke people need support to run their business smoothly. Then Coke people, what they will do? They will take 1 or 2 employees permanently with them by giving good packages. That will happen generally. Okay. So, but it will not happen always, but rarely it will happen. The client will take the employees, some employees to support. Fine. The next one is upgrade. Upgrade project means, do you know the different versions in the Windows? Windows has Windows Vista, Windows XP, Windows 2000. Yeah, like that. SAP also has some versions. SAP has SAP 3 version, SAP 3.B, 4.6C, 4.6B, ECC 5, ECC 6, and so on. Right now, we are running with ECC 7.2. In the market, ECC 7.2 is there right now. Okay. So the latest version of the SAP is ECC 7.2. If somebody is using the older versions, the older versions are, say for example, 4.6C, 4.6B. If some customers are using that versions, if they want to go for the latest version, so that will be dealt in upgrade projects. If the customer want to change the version of the SAP, that is an upgrade. If the customer want to implement the SAP, that is the implement. Implement means a new implementation. Till that point the customer is not using SAP, then that is implementation. Support means adding some extra features. Okay. So these are the these are the various projects which will be available in SAP. Fine. So remember, this is the architecture. Architecture has 3 layers: GUI, application, and database. And every time the database will communicate with the main database. And this is a common business scenario, steps in common business scenario. Okay. And these are the different transactions and tables we have discussed today. And this is the system landscape. System landscape will describe you SAP should recommend you to have 3 servers: development, quality, and productions. Okay, with this details we will conclude for today. We will discuss more in the next class. Okay, so until then, just go through this go through these details, then we'll discuss more details in the next class. Fine. Yeah, thank you then. Bye.
Thank you.